What is going on, trka? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about the day. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm just here for your entertainment. Let's look at what we did. So if you started off the day in the box and it was your first exposure to trka, you had a pretty fun day because you took a 20% ride. If you took the ride up from the box to what we were hoping would be a 28-cent breakout, and you saw it get rejected and you rode it back down, well, it didn't cost you any gas money, but you didn't make any gas money either. You just you drove round trip for free as of right now. So we're sitting at 22.60 in the after hours, or actually no, we're not in the after hours yet. We have 22 minutes left in the market. Want to see what happens? We're back in the box. So key points for today. Box is obviously important. Also, double bottom. I like to see a double bottom. That's going to give us a sign as to probably could we reverse or is it going to get uglier. So be watching for a couple of things. Obviously, the box. Can we hold the box and continue to move to the upside? We have to break out of that 28 cents. Otherwise, you kind of saw what happens today. It's going to be tough, but once we get through there, it'll act as support, I hope, for the meantime. Until we get through there, we're struggling with it. So you're watching this double bottom that came in around 21.20. If we lose that, things could get ugly. 16.5 to 18 cents is probably the next stop to the downside if we lose the double bottom, in all honesty. At that point, I'm going to be seriously thinking about what I'm going to do. Doesn't mean it has to be your decision, your opinion, whatever you want to do. But as of right now, nothing's changed since yesterday. So here I am, and I am like 7 times deeper into trka than I ever thought I would be. And you know what? My average is decent now. So I'm okay, and it gives me a little bit more tolerance in case we see this extreme pull back down to the 16.5 to 18 cent range. If I wasn't 7x what I wanted to be, I would be, really watching this level more closely because I wouldn't want to endure the pain. But you guys have a trading plan. Have a plan before you ever get into a trade and know where your pressure points are and where it's best to cut and run. You can always get back into a trade. It doesn't mean you don't like it because you get out of a trade. It just means, hey, my support level failed me and I'm going to wait and see if there's a new support level, because it's easier to get back into a trade 5, 8, 10 cents down lower than it is to try to average down a position. So just tip for the day, have a trading plan before you ever get into it and stick to your trading plan and your life will be good. So as of right now, we're watching to see if we can hold our box 22.5 to 23.5, and then ultimately we need to break through the 25 to 28 cent range, which puts us back into the 30, 50 fib line and working our way back up. I think if there was going to be a trend reversal break to the upside, this would probably be a pretty good inclination, having a double bottom and a test if it's going to make that reversal or if we are going to continue to work our way to the downside. You can see the trend line right now coming in over our heads. We need to make that breakout now, so we'll be working on that. Be watching to see if we get pushed down to the lower side of 21 and how hard it's cranking in over our head, and if we can break the trend line. So just go ahead and keep your same trend line. We're back in it. We tried to break out, failed us, and we fell back down in the RSIs. Let's look at them because they are important. The 5-minute is kind of trying to do something, which we're only seeing that because we got this nice pump off the double bottom. So keep an eye on that. The 30-minute has fallen a little bit below our trend line, unfortunately, but maybe if we can get a pump back to that trend line, that'll change that. The 1 hour is curling up, which is okay. I like to see that. The 4 hour is still on a downward trend, and the daily's still on a downward trend. That 1 hour kind of curling back up, though. I like that. Basically the yellow's the SMA, so I want to see if it gets rejected off of there or if it's going to be able to push its way through, which if it can push its way through, that means our shorter time frames are heating up and they're pushing, and we'll get that strong curl. But it could be a rejection, so that makes me look at my shorter time frames. What are they going to do? Are they going to reject off of any of these key levels that we talk about, the trend line or any of those numbers? And that would create our 1 hour to have a rejection point. So let's see if we can pump our way up there and continue to make some progress. Like I said, as far as the double bottom goes, I think if we're going to see a true reversal, that would be a key point that it would need to happen. Otherwise, prepare yourself for downside and have a game plan before we go into whatever happens to that downside. I don't think our CEO has given us any kind of action at all, so we're all still sitting here, just doing our thing. As far as ortex goes, again, I'm still not updated, so I don't think this is right, but we'll just look at cost to borrow, because I do think that is right. 100% cost to borrow, which is good. Utilization coming down, I believe 72.55, and the volume's been stepping back a little bit, but we expected that because you cannot just continue to run those crazy high amounts of volume day after day. It has volume exhaustion. It's just going to happen. It looks like we are still on the threshold list, which is okay for me. And like I continue to say, if the shorts, do think that it's worth getting out, that's great, because that just gives me a little bit of hope that maybe the play has more potential than just a short squeeze. Right. I'd like to think that my money's sitting in something that has more potential than just being some sort of pump and dump or some sort of short squeeze hype, and everybody, bails. So let's see. I mean, if you want to bail. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying pump and dumps, everybody's like, yeah, and then boom, which is kind of like what our chart looks like. But I didn't start talking about trka till after we actually had reports in hand showing us just kind of how the fundamentals have changed. And that's kind of why I'm still here and kind of why I'm still talking about it, is because I think we have a little bit of something to work with. I don't know, at the end of the day, I truly don't know. I'm just watching, but a good amount of support here. Like I said, a double bottom, which actually is like 5, 6, 7, 8, who knows how many bottoms out right there. So maybe it will create that good base for us and continue to hold, or maybe it won't. We're all just going to have to watch and see. On the 1 hour, it would be a very ugly head and shoulders if that plays out, but that is always a possibility as well. So if we break out of that 28 cents and you see rejection somewhere shortly after, be thinking maybe it's doing some sort of ugly head and shoulders on the 1 hour. I don't know. We're going to just watch the charts, see the price action, but just see how it's moving through these levels that we're watching, because that's going to tell you, is this weakness or is this base in strength? So keep an eye on it, guys. I hope you had a good day in the markets. Otherwise, I hope you made some money, and I will catch you in the next one. But that's what I'm looking for tonight. Make sure that we hold 21.20 to the lower, see if we can stay in this box, see if we can pump through 28 cents and carry on to the upside. And then just how much strength do we have, how much excitement is here. The RSIs have cooled way off, so at this point I would like to see it run. Otherwise, like I said, I think there could be some nasty days ahead, but just keep an eye on her, and I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.